no, Clicky Thicky, when did you become so palish and sickly? Oh, but look at that. Who needs to go outside and get a tan when you can just buy yourself a fancy little light that makes you look all toasty and nice?
Well. Good evening, laddies, lasses, and lasses. Welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Did you know you really need to subscribe to this channel? Because I make amazing content, and the least anyone can do is subscribe for more quality content. You see, that was pretty entitled behavior from yours truly, which is very funny because today we're gonna look at the most entitled people that I could find on the internet and laugh about it and dissect behavior and pretend that we're superior even though we're probably just as petty ourselves. Enjoy. Mwah.
But you should seriously subscribe though. Not to be entitled, but you know, how could you not? There's just so... Wow, the lights make this look really tanned, but I look super... It looks like I have like a wrong foundation. Oh no, it's because of my window. Look, it's super pale right here. You see the freaking line of... Oh, that looks amazing. I feel like this is gonna get turned into a meme. Anyway,
let's read some memes, shall we?
My baby daddy got promoted, so I appealed for more child support. He ordered a DNA test, and my son failed. He put the results in my mailbox. I forgave myself for cheating, but he's being petty. He's been my son's dad for 8 years. Why ghost my child now? How to fix it?
My child failed the DNA test. I hate it when my kids study for a DNA test and they still fail. Oh, the loser.
I forgave myself for cheating long ago. Maybe you shouldn't have pushed it if you like kind of already knew what was up. I mean, I hope for the kid that they're still able to have people in their life, because only having this mother in their life is probably a nightmare. I always feel bad when there are kids involved, because obviously she's in the wrong if this is a real post and she's completely unhinged. But I feel really bad for the kid because the kid didn't do anything. You know, the kid is completely innocent. First date, she refused to get out of the car because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory.
Let me just get the door for you. Okay.
Wait, she locked the door. I heard him like...
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car.
What?
Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you? Okay. You're recording me?
Oh my god!
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay. Oh my god.
Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this?
that looks like this.
I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it. Yeah. Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, there's no red flags there at all, you know? Like, first date, they take you to a place you don't like, whip out the camera, shame them on TikTok, and don't get out of the car.
Do you see? Like all this? This doesn't belong there. Oh my... See this? Are you blind? Are you blind?
And he's just knocking on the car window, just like, are you stuck or something? This is... Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's obvious you made an effort there, lady, okay? Like, you got ready for the day, fixed your hair, got the fancy sunglasses out and everything. Like, that's nice. That's commendable. But you ain't all that. And even if you were all that, I don't think, like, this would be the attitude to go with it. You know, Jesus frickin' Christ. I also love the fact that she recorded the whole thing thinking, like, oh my god, I want the internet to crap on my date. And that's also such a weird standard to set, right? Even if you think that you're in the right for doing this. Like, let's say it's a different scenario and she actually is in the right. Do you really want to set the expectation that if you go on a date and you don't like it, you're gonna like expose your date on the internet? Who would ever want to go out on a date with you in the future? They're like, oh yeah, if she happens to not like whatever I take her, she's just gonna like film me and dox me. Like, bruh. Bruh. Come on.
Please read. Thank you. Dearest neighbor, happy autumn. I can see you're preparing for fall time and the holidays. I do, however, humbly ask you to reconsider your Halloween decor. I walk to feel peace and for my mental health, so naturally, I am passing through my neighborhood earlier. My peace of mind disappeared upon seeing the skeletons bearing the zombie baby. My brother died as an infant.
What is this trauma dumping? Oh my, it's Halloween decoration.
His death was many years ago, but I haven't forgotten. Yeah, like 40 years. Like, it's awful, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it has anything to do with this person. The pain of his loss is very real because the undead baby decoration nearly broke me apart. Hours after, as I write, I continue to feel disturbed. I am not the only one affected.
Okay. Who else?
In 2021, the CDC reported nearly 20,000 infant deaths.
Are we really doing this? Are we really doing? Hey, you know the pandemic.
Yeah, all the pain, that's like, you're endorsing it now because you have a Halloween decoration.
What? Struggling with this loss is something many people quietly suffer with, even in this very neighborhood. Imagine if it was your child. Imagine the anguish, the hurt, the emptiness that your heart and your home would feel.
You know, there is different levels of this stuff, right? You can make very obvious, insensitive things about tragedies or that kind of thing. And you have people like this that very vaguely connects anything to their very personal tragedy, which doesn't take away from the tragedy, but it also doesn't have anything to do with this person in question. This is a massive leap, and I don't think it helps anyone.
Consider all this. Please take down those Halloween decorations. Doing so will make our neighborhood feel safe and comforting again. Of course, we can still celebrate the fall time season, but we must do so in a way that brings everyone gladness and peace. Like your inflatable dog, that decoration is super cute.
But what about the people whose pets died and got bloated? What about them? Aren't they gonna be deeply traumatized? Why do people's dead pets that suffered from bloatation not count? But the baby thing does. How about that, Karen? Where do you draw the line?
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this beautiful day. Sincerely, your neighbor.
Oh my god, no. This just feels a bit like a main character syndrome. Like I said, there's a difference between stuff that is obviously offensive. You know, you can be offensive towards the stuff mentioned in this letter, but I don't think it's in reference to the thing that actually happened. But there is a difference, you know, it's inserting yourself in a situation that has nothing to do with you just to tell people that you're offended by it. It's like, I don't know, being allergic to coffee and going into a coffee store and be like, don't you realize I'm allergic to coffee? And it's like, but then don't go into the coffee store. It's kind of like that. It's inserting yourself into something that doesn't really have to do with you, and you can very easily just nod.
Oh my god, I like this reindeer that you put up in that store. I'm just gonna bring this with me home, you know? You can't spell Rudolph without mine. Oh my god, I have failed English. Oh my god, would you pack it into a golf cart? Where did you get a golf cart?
Is this like a resort or something? Is that what kinda looks, maybe? They just stole a Christmas ornament in a golf cart. It just casually rolls away. Oh my god.
Can you imagine working at that place and seeing this on the security cameras the next day?
Hey, why is the Christmas decoration missing? Speaking of things that are missing, mic arm, please. And just see this lady driving off in a golf cart. With it just like...
What? Baby, I need some lingerie and smexy dresses. I need the bare minimum of 400, which is nothing at all, only a few hundred to you, baby. To get what I need for us to actually, my exes would spend 2,000 on me for shopping. We went together like the princess that I am. And I adore them for treating me like the princess I am, as I'm worth completely and generous gentlemen that think of me XXXXX love hearts. I took it off for you, baby, and sorted city that's been expensive for me and made all the special arrangements just for you, XXXXX. I did it for you, XXXX. I'm excited to get dressed up in this maxi lingerie for you in the bedroom in the evening. I missed your touch, baby, XXX.
Jeez, this is how she talks to me after one date. No, run, please, run.
Wouldn't a princess have had a little bit of linguistic lessons to actually use
Punctuation? No, maybe the punctuation is like the least of the issues in this message. This seems really overbearing. Like, it's overbearing. It's a lot for just one date. It's asking for a lot of money really fast, which is kind of weird. It's also bringing up her exes right away and telling him how much they spent on her, so he has to be a gentleman also. Like, it's so many red flags. It's so many red flags.
Maybe that's why there are so many hearts in the message.
They disguise the red flags with red hearts. I came across this post from a fellow classmate. She wants everyone to ask for her permission before getting married / taking on a job.
Just a quick post to say I would really appreciate it if anyone younger than me would wait for people older than them to get married before they do, or at least ask all the older people they know who aren't married yet to let them know if they could be happy for them to get married before them.
We got another main character syndrome. Woo!
Man, I should have a scoreboard for this. This is beautiful. I mean, it's not beautiful, it's awful, but it's like beautiful in a comedically awful way.
I might be generally happy for the younger people who got married younger than me. I might feel that you made good choices.
Can you imagine doing this? Can you imagine posting like Facebook and be like, hey, all friends who are like 1 or 2 years older than me, I am planning on getting married and my life is on track. Is anyone like weirdly jealous about this or want to make my marriage about themselves to not approve of it? Because if that's the case, I'll cancel it. That makes perfect sense. What a nice world we live in. Can't we just let people be happy? Why do you have to force others to be miserable? Because you can't put your poo together?
However, there may be older people who may not yet felt able to admit they might have preferred it if you waited for them to find something to get married to first. Some people might have witnesses me doing certain things before older people have, such as getting a bachelor and master's degree. So perhaps I've decided to hold back on pursuing a PhD and wait to see if older people, would mind me doing that first.
This is some messed up values, y'all. Wow.
So from now on, if you're older than me and know me, please feel free to contact me and let me know what level job you got to before, and if you'd be happy for me to do so, I don't overtake you. Also, I'd really appreciate it if people younger than me in work would ask me if they mind whatever or not they take on certain roles before they do. Thanks.
This is awful. This is like the most crap values and like trying to make the world better I've ever seen in my life. This is overbearing, creepy, weird, and you should not have written this. God. Like, essentially, what I'm reading here is a massive main character syndrome mixed in with a bunch of jealousy, saying that if I haven't succeeded with a specific thing yet, no one else who's like a day younger than me is allowed to succeed in this as well. That is absolutely wild. Are you really gonna be petty and try to hold others back? I mean, people also are on different paths in life, you know? I know many people who have done different things in many different years. You know, I have people who got married in their early 20s because they didn't want to pursue, for example, the academia, and they formed a family like many years ago. And then I have people who wait until their 30s to form a family, for example, or get married, and then I have people that may not want to do it at all. You know, it's like, what the frick? Even if you try to apply logic to this, which you probably shouldn't, but let's do it for the sake of argument because it's funny, it still doesn't work because the timelines aren't consistent. Girl, what are you doing? You're trying to frame your own like weird petty jealousy by like some altruistic shit. This is the fakest bullshit main character syndrome I've ever seen.
What?
I'm just taking some pictures of this scratch.
Okay, yeah, okay, but we've not scratched it.
Look how close you are to my car. You must have scratched it.
What do you mean? Look how close?
Look, it's ridiculous. You're
so
okay,
look,
close.
but look,
Look,
I'm in the bay, yeah. You're not in the bay.
Okay, so she hasn't even parked properly.
my car.
How have I scratched your car?
You must
The
have
car's
done.
not touching. The car's not touching.
Yeah, but look how close you are.
I mean, and that scratch, you know, if you scratched the car by parking, you would have like some color scratching in a wider thing. That looks like someone went ham with like a knife.
No, I scratched your wheel.
No way.
I think she's doing a bit of an insurance fraud. Oh yeah, it even says on the bottom, breaking news, Karen trying to get an insurance payout. Stupid moo. I mean, you know that she's just doing an insurance scam when she's doubling down. Like, you know, she's the one who's parked incorrectly. There is no counter scratch on the other car. I don't even think there is a way you could get a scratch that looks that way from this event, even if it was that. It's so rigged. So, like, even with all these facts pointing her right in the face, she's still, like, doubling and tripling down, which means she's not here for an honest concern. This is just a scam.
And then, like, you're over here trying to accuse us of doing it. You know that's been there before, innit?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said yeah. You knew it was there before.
Okay.
She even admits to, wait a second. Wait, so you actually have this lady on camera admitting to trying to commit insurance fraud with random people in the parking lot. She just admitted to like a pretty serious crime. That's so stupid. That's just like to attempt it to begin with such a bullshit scratch is like, okay, that's one thing. But then even admit, oh my god, how did evolution allow these people to survive? It blows my mind. Oh, maybe that's my new favorite conspiracy. It's no longer like aliens being in control of our social medias when you see outraging comments. That's just aliens like probing us to see what we can put up with socially. My new favorite conspiracy is that evolution isn't real because there's no way people could be this dumb if evolution actually happened. I mean, obviously, I think evolution is real, but you know, it's a very funny post. Entitled Aunt forces me to take care of spoiled cousin, 10M. Everyone else, anything, I am blocking you after this. Do not expect me to let you into my house. You let Uncle Blorp deal with everything, and now you're doing that to me. I am not taking responsibility for Blorp after this.
Oh my god, just deal with it. It's not my fault you're lazy.
Ooh, yeah, when you want to ask someone for a favor, that's the way to convince them, hell yeah.
I'm not gonna let you dump him on me.
You're his mother, that's what you're supposed to do.
Dry back, I don't wanna see you. You will watch after Blorp till I say you can't.
No, I've looked after him for far too long now. I'm already here with him. We are done. You have a hotel and everything. Why can't you just look after him? I've had to bend over backwards to stop him from wrecking me and Blorp's home. We won't be fighting over this. I don't care if you tell everyone else anything. Hey, me and Blorp are driving with Blorp to your hotel. Me and Blorp are done with babysitting while you sit in your hotel room. Wait, so they're actually available, but they just dump their kid and they refuse to pick up the kid. That seems like forceful babysitting. This is really uncomfortable. I never said you could have Blorp in my house, let alone have me and Blorp babysit him for a week? Oh my, so they just dump the, hey, can you watch him for an afternoon? And they just yeet out of there, and they're just like, no, but you can have him for another week. That's fine, right? Oh my god.
I don't have to ask you anything. You have to do what I say. Got it?
Says who? Says you? Well, good thing. That doesn't hold much weight now, does it?
I don't have to ask you anything. You have to do what I say. Got it? Dry back, I don't want to see you. You will watch after Blorp till I say you can't.
I am not taking responsibility for Blorp after this.
Oh my god, just deal with it. It's not my fault you're lazy. I'm not gonna let you dump him on me.
You're his mother. That's what you're supposed to do. I am at the front desk. I am with Blorp. Either you get him or not, but I am not taking responsibility for him anymore. F you! I mean, at this point, I would say, like, burning that bridge, there probably isn't much bridge left, to be honest. And if it is a bridge, it's a one-way bridge, so, like, it's not much to gain from there anyway, now is it? What kind of entitled person does this? Like, oh, this random family member has more responsibility over my own child than I do, and I'm just gonna dump it there for a week without communicating and just leave to a hotel. What the hell? Ooh, got a little bit of a car rolling in. Very nice. Okay. Just gonna park here. Very good. Okay. Let's see what goes on here. Very nice. Bam! That was not even a small touch. How? You parked so far away from it, and you managed to slam the door so confidently, and then like,
it's fine. My shopping is more important.
She also looks like someone who would definitely do this. Look at the vibe of this person. That just screams Karen, doesn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm really glad they caught it on camera, though. That can definitely fix that issue, but a bunch of people should not have cars or driver's license. You know, I usually say, like, oh, there should be a license for having kids. I was almost about to say, you should have to have a license to have a car, and then I realized, oh, yeah, we already do, and it still doesn't do anything. God damn it.
Am I the only person that doesn't leave a restaurant because of a screaming child? We'll calm him down and give him toys or whatever, but honestly, I don't care if he's disturbing other people. We are paying customer just like the people without children.
Yeah, you're both paying customers, and you're ruining the experience for the other customers. Like, this is, you had the self-awareness in the first part of the sentence, but then it's just like,
but it doesn't apply to me. I'm not gonna go get boxes just to make other people happy. Other than loud laughter or happy screams, my son is usually awesome in public. But children just have bad days like us. Call me a birch all you want, Tracy.
I mean, the feeling that you have to put this on social media as well, just to be like, haha, I don't care, which means that, you know, you kind of know somewhere deep down inside that you're probably being a poo-poo. I mean, Jesus, I do this all the time when there's, like, children, when you're out with friends or family or something. Just take them out for a bit and play with them. Or just take them out into the stroller and just walk around the neighborhood a bit until they fall asleep and then you're done. Like, it's not rocket science, fam. Come on. Lady freaks out in public bathroom because I took her stall. So this just happened. I am sitting in the food court area of my local mall typing this. I think it belongs here. I was just in the mall bathroom. It's a pretty big bathroom. I think there are 8 to 10 stalls in it. When I entered the bathroom, it looked like only one stall was not occupied, I guess. I chose a stall randomly and settled in to do my business. I hear the door to the bathroom open and loud clicks from high heels. They stop outside my stall and I'm startled by loud banging. Then I hear a nasally, "Excuse me?" I say, "Someone is in here," and this is the conversation that ensues. EB,
No shit! Can you hurry? I need a stall!
There's plenty of open stalls.
Do you think I'm blind? I want this one! Now hurry, I have somewhere to be!
Me, I'm honestly a bit stumped. I stutter a bit. I'll be out when I'm done. If you're in a hurry, use one of the many empty stalls.
Listen here, Birch. I don't like your attitude. This is my stall. I use it every time I'm here. Now move it.
Here she actually shakes the stall and now I am pissed. Me, you need to back up. You can't own a stall in a public bathroom. Now leave me alone. Starts kicking and shaking the door at the same time. I loudly sigh and decide to just ignore her. I also decide that I'm going to purposefully sit in the stall longer, even though I am done with my business. This psycho continues to hurl insults, kick and shake the door for a solid 5 minutes. I mean, who would want to open the door if that's how you act outside of it? Like, just changing the roles for a bit, right? If you want someone to leave it faster, you kind of don't want it to make it seem like there's an active threat on the other side of the door. That's not the way to get them to open the door faster. Finally, she screams out, "Freak you, Birch! Eat poo and die!" I actually laughed out loud at that one, and she loudly click-clacks out of the bathroom door. Some people are just straight-up psychopaths who think they actually own a specific stall in a mall bathroom. Any chance that stall was a dead drop? Maybe she was picking up drugs she paid for. I actually went back to the stall and checked the trash bin after I read some similar comments on here and was still at the mall. I did not see any narcotics. Or maybe she came in after you, in between when you left and when you came back to check it. I don't know. That sounds really weird. It could be a super entitled person, or maybe she's just a bit jacked up on something else. Could also be the case, like the super entitlement. That's really weird.
It's okay, I'll only be a minute.
Karen, in a big old shiny pickup, was too lazy to walk 10 extra feet and parks in a handicapped spot at 7-Eleven today. She gets out and sees my husband's handicap plate and immediately starts shouting at him about how
it's okay, and she'll only be a minute.
When she walks up to the counter, she's next in line, so he gets in front of her and puts his stuff down to check out. She snaps,
"Excuse me, I was next."
He continues to check out and tells her, "It's okay, I will only be a minute." That's pretty satisfying. I don't think she'll learn a lesson. People like that usually doesn't, but it's very satisfying. A little bit of karma in the world.
Hey, we'll be on the way soon, heart emoji.
Okay. Wait a second. What do you mean we, lol?
Me and my kiddos.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes, why? Is that going to be a problem?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Why? I couldn't find a babysitter and I didn't want to cancel our plans. I figured this was a better solution.
You honestly need an explanation? Fine. First off, you did not once mention you had a child, yet alone multiple. Secondly, our plans were dinner and drinks at a bar, then a movie at my place, neither of which are acceptable places for a child. Finally, the fact that you were willing to not only bring your children along on a first date with a stranger that you don't know from the internet, but bring them to his home makes me seriously question your decision-making. That being said, I think I'm out of this whole situation. Good luck, Blorp. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Seriously? Frick you! How dare you criticize my parenting? My kiddos are angles and I treat them like it.
Okay, yeah, okay. I think, did I actually spell it right, I think.
I just thought maybe you'd be sweet and understanding about my situation, but I guess not. You're just a butthole like every other guy out there. Frick you, Nick. I hope you're always miserable and pathetic. You are a loss.
Oh, the bad grammar in a scorching text. That just ties the whole thing together, doesn't it?
My kiddos are angles. What are they called? Cute and obtuse?
I mean, poor kids. Jesus, can you imagine being like 6 years old and your parent is like, "We're going on a date to this man's house that I have never met, and I'm gonna get drunk with him and hopefully he is a good man." What? Bruh. I mean, the whole thing just bringing kids to a date uninvited is like one level of But then this whole ordeal with like, okay, the safety aspect and the parenting decisions and stuff, I don't think this is someone you would want in your life to make decisions. I really hope it's better than it looks for the kids' sake, but damn, that's not promising.
Like, you really just should have paid for all of our food.
She was mad because he didn't pay for everyone at the table.
Ooh, it's your birthday, cool, but I'm not doing that. It's 18. Why don't you?
With 18 people.
You brought 18 friends. I'm finna leave you. You staying here with them or you coming with me? You are you? Bro!
I'm gonna be honest. There is a slight bit of irony in calling your partner a broke N-word while yourself begging them to buy dinner for themselves and their 18 friends without discussing it beforehand. Like, with 18 people, plus him, plus someone else. So let's say 20 people at a fancy restaurant. How much is that? Like, it's easy $100 per person, right? Like, this is probably $2,000 of, like, dinners and drinks and champagne and stuff that wasn't discussed beforehand. It's like,
baby, you just take the whole bill, right?
Bruh. Bruh. Man, putting your partner on the spot like that, in front of a group of 20 people, without discussing it beforehand, man, that kinda nasty though. Like, birthday and everything and all that kind of stuff, but this ain't the way to do it.
He is not my type. I'm a 26-year-old woman and my parents died when I was 14 years old. I dropped out of school because no one could afford to pay my fees. I met a guy when I was 16 and he sent me back to school. He sold fruit on the street so he could pay my school fees. He later got a job as a truck driver and sent me to uni. I am now working as a lawyer. My problem is that I feel I can't continue with this relationship because this guy is not the type of man I would like to marry one day. How best can I tell him that he is not my type without hurting his feelings? I am grateful that he sent me to school, but I can't be in a relationship with him anymore. I want somebody in my own class, not a truck driver. Please help.
You know, the thing is that you should never force anyone to be in a relationship, right? And people grow apart. Someone can be super kind and caring and be there for you, but you just don't have the vibe for a relationship. That can happen and it's perfectly fine. But that last sentence is really yucky. Lady, you know that the reason why you are in a different class is because of him, right? Oh my god. A person shouldn't feel compelled to stay with someone that they don't want to, simply because they feel like they owe the person. But that last line about class, yuck, doesn't paint OP in this in a nice light. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It feels like someone who really wants to just jump between partners when they feel they can do better. That's like, yeah, don't force people to be in a relationship, but the reason you got to where you are, to a big portion, not taking away from your own effort, is because of this person. I don't know, the whole thing feels very... I don't know, you could have just left out the last part and it would have been like, yeah, they were super nice person, but we grew apart. That's fine. You know, but the last thing is just like, they're not good enough for me. Ugh.
My rent is past due. My car engine blew and I'm sick and can't work. 'Tis the season. It feels nothing like Christmas and I can't even get $100 out of my fans. Yeah, I'm done. Y'all can have it. It's what you want anyway, right? To get me out of the way.
She's mad because fans won't just give her money, or because she doesn't have enough fans to make the income. Since she says I'm sick and can't work, I'm guessing she expects them to give her money for nothing. I feel like OF might be one of those feast or famine things. People are spending time with family and friends over the holidays and buying things for those people. Even people that I know that still sell on Etsy are having a tough season. People that do online shopping do it much easier with the shipping delays for the past few years. Plus, the economy is uncertain. People that do work that doesn't have a guaranteed income need to plan ahead. One thing that's also really important to remember when it comes to any creative business is that it's super high risk, super high reward, and the gaps in the industry are insanely high. Because it is digital content, if I put it this way, you can have, for example, a YouTuber, let's just take it objectively speaking for simplicity, whose content is 5% better or more well-produced or more entertaining or whatever you want to use as a metric than someone else's. They're not going to have 5% more viewers, they might have 5 times as many viewers, because there's no reason for people to drop their expectations by 5% when it's digital content that is available to anyone. Just look at the difference in size between many creators and followers or viewership or whatever you want to do. It's a super stark curve. So I think it's one of those industries where you can get really lucky and break through like the ceiling, so to say, or you can just have it as a hobby or be really struggling if you jump prematurely. It is a really risky and uncertain business. I'm not sure about this entitlement thing. I have seen creators raise money in times of need or when they're in trouble and that kind of thing, and it can be a perfectly reasonable thing to do. And it's very beautiful when people come together to help people in trouble and that kind of thing. But I'm not sure if this post inspires generosity. Like, oh my god, how dare you call yourself my fan if you don't give me money? And if that's where it breaks, I think you jumped ship prematurely, and maybe this shouldn't be considered the full-time job if there are literally below $100 in margin between months. That sounds like an awful, stressful lifestyle. Rossi has something to say.
We don't want Mexican, we don't want Muslims, we don't want gays, and absolutely no one black collar people in America. Out. My Twitter account got suspended for 12 hours after giving my opinion. If this doesn't change, I will be contacting my lawyer.
Okay, so you're saying like we don't want all these people in a place, but then of course someone doesn't want you because you're a hateful little poo-poo, and you just get suspended for a bit, and you're like,
oh my god, how could this happen to me? I am the main character of the universe. I can be hateful and also decide who shouldn't be here, but if someone doesn't want me around because I'm a hateful piece of poo, outrageous. Don't they know I'm the main character? I'm the center of the universe, and I'm also a raging racist.
And also homophobic. It's like Pokemon cards. Gotta catch them all.
Oh my god, look, she's in my shot. How dare they use the public gym behind me? Can't they see I am a famous aesthetic person? Oh my god, she walked in front of the... What? They're all walking in front of my camera.
Oh, it's Joey, my boy.
For you to get upset because there's people simply in your video going about their workout without
I love these call-outs. They're so satisfying.
Is ridiculous. It gets to the point where you actually tell that man behind you to move because he's in your video. Really? I'm sorry, but unless your name is on that gym, your filming is never a priority over other people. They pay the same gym membership that you do. If you can't film responsibly, if you can't respect other people in a shared space, you don't belong filming at all. You need to do better. Mind your own business.
But she's just having a little main character moment. Oh my god, don't they realize that the aesthetics online are more important? Oh my god, don't you know who I am? No? Bummer. So am I wrong in this? My husband has a 13-year-old from a previous marriage. They're pretty close. I think he overspoils her. Anything she asks for, he buys right away. Anything he asks her to do, he stops everything for her. It gets a little annoying because a lot of our life revolves around her.
Well, your life would typically revolve around kids when you have kids. That sounds relatively reasonable.
I also have a 13-year-old daughter from a previous relationship, and when he went Christmas shopping, he got his daughter an iPad that is easily $1,200, and mine an iPad mini because he got her a new iPhone last month, he said. I think he should have bought them both the same iPad, so when I wrapped the presents, I gave his daughter the mini and mine the larger one.
But you paid for neither. So your own daughter got both the phone and the bigger iPad, but you still didn't pay for any of it. What?
He won't make a big deal in front of the kids, and I will act like it was an accident, but am I wrong?
Yes. Yes, you're wrong. Can you imagine changing the labels on someone else's gifts that they paid for? Are you kidding me?
Shouldn't he have bought them both the same type of iPad?
I mean, if you wanted this, an easy solution, even if you don't want to spend that much money yourself on gifts, just upgrade it. Then it can be like, okay, honey, here's the receipt for the iPad mini. I'm gonna add a couple of $100 to it and buy them the same iPad. So you just fill in the gap if you really want them to have the same thing. Like, there is an easy solution to this that gives the kids the same thing. You wouldn't have to play this shady game and you still kind of contribute at least a little bit. Like, that's a super easy solution, but no, you're just like, oh my god, let's be manipulative and weird and make a scene and that. There's only one adult in this relationship.
Call me a bitch again. Call me a bitch again. Yeah, I did nothing wrong. No, you shut the f*** up. You shut the f*** up and you're bitch. You shut the... Film me. I'm Instagram famous, you f***ing bum.
Like, the thing that blows my mind with these people, okay? I'm gonna provide a little bit of wisdom as someone who dabbles in the influencer industry and that kind of stuff. One thing that always strikes me as absolutely bonkers with these kind of people is that my experience with having a platform that like grew and turned into a job and that kind of stuff is that I started being more and more responsible or careful with it, if you will, because first off, it's like, oh, you kind of are the brand for your own page, like, maybe you shouldn't mess up too bad, it sounds like a good idea. And number two, like, when your platform grows, it comes with a certain level of responsibility. Like, of course, there is a great scale to it, you're not responsible for everything your fans does and so on and so forth, there's an ongoing debate about that kind of thing that often goes kind of bonkers. But, you know, to some extent, you're responsible for what you put out there, right? So it blows my mind that someone like this, who claims to be Instagram famous, would be so eager to act like poop on someone else's camera. Like, what, shouldn't you be like at least like media trained or something? You know, like at least you should hide your poopiness, right? At least you'd be smart enough to do that, no? But I also have noticed that some people, when they get like big, is that it seems they can get away with everything. So maybe she falls into that category. I don't know. It seems to be like very split in half, and I think it depends on what audience you have, right? If you have an audience that don't expect much from you, in a way, you can get away with so much. If you build a platform around a bit of like decent values and positivity or whatever, you know, stuff you wanna call it, then you cannot get away with as much stuff, which kind of blows my mind. You can see this across so many platforms and so many creators with people that have gotten cancelled or been in controversy and stuff. The people that are not really affected by it are people where the audience isn't expecting that from them to begin with. Kind of interesting.
A girlfriend here. My boyfriend tried to expose me on here the other day about wanting him to get a circumcision, so I figured I would just clear the air as there was a lot of comments getting floated towards me.
Why would... Okay.
First of all, y'all's comments are literally so rude, calling me names, saying I'm gaslighting him, telling him to break up with me. You guys have legitimately no position to say any of these things, not knowing the full story. And he posted our conversation at literally the worst part, so it's not even representative of the whole thing. Me wanting him to get circumcised is my choice. You know, my body, my choice, except when I want it for someone else. Then it's their body, my choice. Ooh, did you read this before posting this? This is, ooh.
I mean, unless you mean it's like my choice in terms of like my preference, I suppose, but it's not a good way of writing it. Come on.
There is so much stigma around women standing up for themselves and what they want / not being able to speak their truth. And it's so sad to see y'all be part of that.
No, it's not about you speaking your truth. You like vaguely referring to something like, oh yeah, I have this or that preference in a partner, like disconnected, and just discussing it with a gal pal or whatever. Perfectly fine. You being like actively towards your boyfriend and be like, you should do this thing to your body because that's what I want. And it's my choice as a woman to get my choice. But it's not your body. Then it turns different. Now you're like trying to be controlling and weird over another person. And why is this a public thing to begin with?
I honestly feel so bad for you guys. He's my boyfriend. I'm allowed to express how I feel about things and he should value it.
I would bet money that it's not the same the other way around. Imagine if the boyfriend made this argument about something about her body. Oh my god.
I'm not going to let my voice be steamrolled just because I have a male partner. If he really valued me, he would value my opinion. But not everyone is ready for what it takes to be in a relationship.
Cheers. So I would rephrase that to not everyone, which it should be no one is ready for what it takes to be in a relationship with you. Because it's like, oh, can you do this thing to your body
because that's my choice? Y'all not ready, y'all so immature.
And this text was written as a defense. This was written as like, hey, here is the full context, so I don't look as bad.
And it makes you look worse. When the context make you look worse, be quiet. Dear God.
A man was shamed for sending I love you texts to 2 different people before his plane took off.
Oh,
the woman
drama.
sitting next to him saw what he was doing, didn't allow him to explain, and said she was going to expose him on TikTok.
Oh
his
my God.
seatmate assumed he was cheating on his wife.
Oh.
So he decided to get ahead of the accusations and made his own TikTok explaining the situation. Apparently, he was texting his wife and his daughter. In the video, he asks his wife to tell his daughter that he will no longer be texting her from the plane because apparently he's only allowed to love one girl at a time. He also had a message for the woman sitting next to him on the plane. Mind your business. Many agreed that the woman should have stayed out of this situation. Others thought the woman did the right thing, saying it's women looking out for other women. One even said, not fair to your wife, to which he responded, not fair to my wife that I also love my daughter? According to this man, he also sent the same text to his sons, which his seatmate seemed to have no problem with. What would you have done in this situation?
You know, the first step is, of course, maybe you shouldn't invade random other people's privacy by staring at their phones when they're just texting people. Secondly, what do you mean women looking out for other women?
Like, I'm gonna shame on TikTok, potentially getting doxxed and getting death threats and stuff, because that's the way we do justice. #women.
How do you know? How do you know the context of this person? How do you know they're not just texting I love you to a couple of friends? How do you know they're not in a polyamorous relationship? How do you know it's not just different family members? You know nothing about this context, and you're so ready for some like self-bloated sense of justice to be like,
oh my god, I'm gonna put this person in legitimate danger and make them go viral as a cheater because I am such a po person. I need to overcompensate and harass people online to feel good about myself.
Cease, there's so much borked about social media, and you are not helping. I mean, to be fair though, this kind of stuff is like legitimately scary. Can you imagine this? Just anything you do in public, it's like if you give someone the wrong look, or you do an offhand comment out of context, that, you know, anything like this, or you just text someone I love you, and you have a nosy stranger be like, I'm gonna expose you for... Jesus Christ, what does the world come to? Is this really what we're witch hunting about now? Oh my god. I would like to have a positive spin on it, that is like, if we worry about these problems, it must mean that there are no real problems left. But that's also not true! We just make up bullshit problems when there are already enough problems. God, lady!
Hello! Hey, it's Janae, it's Blorp. I am Blorp's wife. We met at Colby's in Blake's christening.
Christening? Alright, I don't know idea what that is. Hi! Yeah, I remember. It was a little while ago now. How are you and your family?
Good, thanks. Actually, I'm preggo again, and that's why I'm messaging you.
Oh wow, big congratulations to you, and Blorp must be so happy. I bet Bob will be as beautiful as your 4 boys. Will you be messaging because you need a hand with cattle or something?
Actually, new baby will be a bit different to the boys. It's a girl.
That is amazing. She'll be so protected. And you know I've got nieces and they're so much fun. You're going to love it. Really stoked for you, Blorp.
Yeah, I don't need help with cattle, and we're excited too.
The wrong two.
We want to name her Tilly, but it's come to my attention that you have a dog named Tilly, and I would appreciate it if you changing the dog's name. Lol, just spicing it up with a little lol to make it casual, yeah. Obviously, she can't have the same name as the dog, and we're bound to bump into each other.
You're asking someone to change the name of their pet because you, at a later date, decided to name a baby the same. Don't you think the child would just be excited about that? Like, oh my god, I share a name with a dog. Also, like, good luck retraining a dog with a different name. What the frick? Yeah, I see. Hey mate, I don't think it's necessary to change my Tilly's name. I don't think you'll ever see her, and I don't think anyone will notice they got the same name anyway. But even if they did, it's a fun thing. Can you imagine how cool it would be as a kid if, like, your neighbor dog that you got to play with has the same name as you? That's awesome.
I cannot express how I feel right now. I am so disappointed and let down in you, Danae. People say you're a nice person, but I can see you have them tricked. You don't have children, you'll never understand how a mother can love and just want the best for his perfect little person. I am honestly shocked you're being so heartless and unreasonable.
Unreasonable? You're reaching out to someone to tell them they're not allowed to have their pet named a certain way. Not even that they're allowed to name their pet, but they have to change names retroactively depending on what you decide to name your child that isn't even born yet. This is wild.
You didn't even consider changing the animal's name for my daughter's future.
For my daughter's future? Did you know my daughter is gonna die if she shares a name with a puppy?
This is going to impact her life and potentially ruin her confidence in life.
Because a dog has the same name as you. What do you mean destroy her life? Dear God, woman, have you ever encountered a real problem in life? Holy crap.
Can you even imagine growing up having the same name as a mutt?
Oh, so now you're insulting the dog as well. Now it's like, oh, you're gross dog. They're bringing down the net worth of this name. I want to name my baby. Why is it always that the most entitled people are always the ones who accuse others of being entitled? Like, it's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it?
You callously have put me in a terrible position. You are a piece of work and don't deserve your good family.
Wow, okay, so now you're like wishing harm on their actual life.
Like, you don't deserve a family. Oh my god, you deserve death, lady, because you won't change your dog's name. You are ruining a baby's life. Think of what you're doing today. Your inaction has huge consequences.
I am not going to change Tilly's name, mate. Have a good one and congrats again, eh?
No, frick you! This isn't over, Janae, and I'll be talking to Shireen and Glenn about this. She'll be disgusted in you just like how I am. You're a disgrace. Please reconsider.
Yeah. Good luck bringing this conversation to any reasonable person. They're gonna be like, oh my god, how could they not change their puppy's name? Because you retroactively decided to name your baby the same name, and that's a deep issue for some reason. Holy crap.
Last night, I tried to post an update video to the whole, this.
Devastated?
It was actually my decision. She was actually devastated. Didn't really want to make this.
She seems happy. She doesn't seem to even care on her Facebook. There's no recognition, no acknowledgement, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So everybody, meet Emily Talcott, the woman who killed my uncle.
For those of you that wanted to see the police department's post about her, here it is. She decided to go drinking and driving. She said she only had 2 White Claws, but her blood alcohol content was at 0.16. Little more than 2 White Claws. And she was distracted. There was no sign of braking, no skid marks or anything. She hit my uncle so hard while he was just backing into his own driveway that he was killed on impact, and his car was sent flying 60 feet down the road with him trapped in it for 6 hours. What's worse is his wife found him. And even better, during the hurricane, I had the pleasure of staying at my aunt's house for evacuation, and I got to speak with the neighbors who found Emily. He said that after the crash, he had found her in her car, still using her phone. And when she got out of the hospital, which she was airlifted to because my aunt called the paramedics for her, she decided to post a couple videos.
Oh my god. Are you kidding me? You just killed a person, and this is what you're doing?
From the hospital room. And no TikTok,
What?
I'm not bullying or harassing. I am telling people the truth. A couple days later, her boyfriend posts this. In turn, she responds with this.
Doesn't even matter.
That video goes on for like 45 seconds of just her pretending to be extremely drunk. A few days after she killed my uncle in a DUI manslaughter.
How did she get away with this?
There's more, but I already sent those to the state attorney, so
Oh.
I can't physically wrap my head around somebody who could kill somebody and then post those videos a couple days later. Like nothing even happened. And then even better, she pled not guilty. Not guilty. So, we're gonna have fun in court. And we have so much evidence against her, so much stuff she doesn't know we have. Multiple aces up our sleeves, if you will. So on to why I'm posting about this, right? I am asking all of you guys to please go sign the petition in my bio. The goal is hopefully that we can get as many signatures as possible, and then we'll be able to present it to the judge and jury and hopefully sway them towards a maximum sentencing, if not a more harsh sentencing. But I will not let her get away with it, especially after she went mocking my family like that.
That is absolutely insane. Like, we just talked about, like, oh, be careful with what justice you do online, that kind of stuff, because you don't know where it goes. But this is kind of a different vibe, because she took it there herself. Imagine doing something like this, and then taking to social media yourself. Not even the victims in the situation taking to social media to kind of get back or get their accuser to have responsibility or accountability for the situation. This is literally the person who did the bad thing going to social media and be all mocky and haha lol xd about it. That is absolutely insane. I think that people have always sucked, but social media just enhances it in a different way. It blows my mind. I do wish the family the best. That sounds absolutely horrible. It's horrible enough to lose someone close to you like that. I cannot imagine what it's like and also have the person parade it on social media. That is absolutely awful. Just rubbing it in your face when you're already grieving. Ugh. Gives me like shivers in a really gross way. Kim Jong-un's daughter spotted in a $2,800 Dior jacket as North Korea suffers extreme poverty, starvation.
But you see, she needed her fresh jacket. How else is she gonna like sass around?
Got permission from a friend to post. Her broke baby daddy / ex-boyfriend is absolutely floored that she changed her Netflix password. Lamau. Dude, seriously? You went and changed your password for Netflix? That was really rude and uncalled for. Like, what is your problem? For their account? Yeah, I think they're allowed to do so.
Rude? I haven't been able to use my own Netflix since I gave you my password. Get over yourself. You are so rude.
Oh, wow. You could ask me to log out, and my dad was using it, so I meant, like, how hard is it to say, hey, I want to watch Netflix, instead you want to act ignorant? Like, what the frick? I'm so sick of your wishy-washy, hormonal, ridiculous back-and-forth BS. Like, figure it out, dude. Hormonal, who's the one being hormonal? This is the best part as well. It's like the entitled people accusing everyone else of being entitled. So now you're basically using that word, hysterical, while accusing someone else of being hysterical. It's quite hysterical, isn't it? This review of a doctor's practice. The place wasn't even opened yet.
1 star. I had an ear infection, so I showed up at 7 a.m. before I was to leave for work. When the staff arrived at 7:30, I asked her if I could have someone to look at my ear. She didn't respond. After an awkward silence, she said we open at 8.
But they're not even open yet.
I explained that I didn't have an appointment but would like it checked out and wouldn't take much time, but all she said, we don't do appointments over the desk. I really hope the UK privatizes the NHS because government workers do not care about patients.
But you're not even like applying for a time slot in the correct way. What do you mean?
I feel apprehensive to even book an appointment anymore.
Okay, wait a second. So you're like, you didn't book an appointment, just kind of busted in there before they were even open. And then you say, now I'm reluctant to book an appointment. But you didn't even book an appointment to begin with.
What do you mean, Karen?
What is it? Airplanes is that place where, you see that there are two kinds of people. People that enjoy their personal space, even if it's only this much, and people that have no sense of personal space. Oh my God. Maybe it's staged. Who would allow a person to touch their hair like that? Maybe she would freak out a bit more, or maybe she just doesn't care. Blows my mind. There are a lot of things in this video that just blows my mind.
If you breastfeed your sons, you are training them to be R-wordists when they grow up.
Okay?
You're basically teaching them that they can touch a woman's body whenever they want.
You're teaching babies that they are entitled to food when they're hungry. What's your solution?
If you oppose the R word, stop breastfeeding boys.
You know, some people really should have a license for having babies. Jesus effing Christ. I mean, this is just child abuse. This is just child abuse wrapped up in some weird, like, fake social justice fight. This blows my mind. Why is it always like the most unhinged, abusive people that try to trick everyone? They're so good and they're like fighting the good fight. You're abusing babies. Like, how can you write this? And still have a straight face. Oh my god. Here's a Facebook group, ring shaming.
Ew, self-shame Friday, here I come. Found this in boyfriend's nightstand. Not a fan. Please roast and then tell me how to tactfully say no. You need to go get something better. Look at this disgusting ring. I snooped through his drawers and I found this ring, this wedding ring that he bought me with diamonds and everything. But it's disgusting and I'm gonna post it online and tell everyone to shame him. I am a catch and I deserve a better ring.
Is this the same girl who was refusing to step out of the car because they went to the Cheesecake Factory, but now they're actually getting married? I mean, yeah, that's kind of a timeline, right? That could be the same person. Oh my god, that's beautiful. They should just get together, the two of them. They would be perfect for each other. Well, laddies, lasses and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this absolutely wonderful, beautiful video as much as I enjoyed having you here today, you beautiful, wonderful being, and I will see you in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.